In this house, just steps from campus, in the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022, 4 University of Idaho students, Maddie Mogan, Kaylee Gonsalves, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin, were stabbed to death. Their accused killer, Brian Koberger, faces trial this summer. He's pleaded not guilty. For the last 2.5 years, Dateline has been on the ground, reporting, gathering, and learning from people with direct knowledge of the case.
We've been on the ground, accepting everything that we hear as fact from those who want to cover up what really happened.
We've obtained things that have never before been seen publicly, like these security videos from a camera on a house near the murder scene, videos that show a white sedan, a car that investigators believe was driven by Brian Koberger, making repeated passes at the King Road house that night before the murders.
But we have no evidence of that. It's a car. You can see some lights. But investigators say that's who it is. So it's so disingenuous, even with this creepy music, really kind of making just almost like a horror movie about this real life event that happened, and then claiming to be the ones that care about the victims. It's ridiculous.
With evidence like this and our reporting, we have assembled a timeline for the weeks, months, and days before and after the murders. Starting with a pool party Koberger attended in July, just after he moved to the area in pursuit of his PhD in criminology.
Maybe. I don't know if that's true. Maybe.
An exclusive interview with a woman who exchanged numbers with Koberger, then did not return his text.
You know, the universe intervened and for whatever reason just distracted me from further engaging in that interaction.
We'll also reveal records from Koberger's cell.
I mean, she's talking like she knows he's guilty. They're talking like they know he's guilty. And the man hasn't even been on trial yet. What happened to innocent until proven guilty? Isn't that a huge American sentiment? Yet they're talking like she, could have died if she had continued to text with Koberger. Meanwhile, we don't even know if he did anything. He's innocent until proven guilty. In my opinion, if he did do something, he didn't do it alone. I can't imagine this narrative being true, that this one man killed these 4 people in 8 minutes or whatever they're alleging, Kill Bill style, with a knife. Also now it comes out he's punching them too and torturing them and doing all this in this short period of time. And the roommates, they know something's weird, but not really. And they wait 8 hours to do something because this stranger broke into their home and started killing their roommates. No, there's way more to this, and they know way more.
Cell phone that are in the possession of law enforcement, and Google searches regarding the serial killer Ted Bundy. We have also seen these. Dozens of photos in Koberger's cell phone, browsing history, women from Washington State and the University of Idaho, including close friends of the King Road victims. Dateline has also obtained records showing the details of what an FBI cell phone expert has claimed to be in the months before the murders. 23 occasions when Koberger's phone connected to a cell tower, providing coverage to within 100 meters of the house at 11.
So his car providing cell coverage. Did he get out of that vehicle? He has to stop right at the house at some point and get out of that vehicle and wander around. You don't hear anyone talking about that. He got out at this time. He went in.
1122 King Road. And in the hours after the murders, details of the timing of phone calls Brian Koberger made to a phone linked to his parents just before the controversial selfie he took. And we'll talk to the mother whose daughter was supposed to be staying in the house the night of the murders, but a change of plans may have saved her daughter's life. How soon was it?
But why? Why does she think that? There were other women in the house and a dog, they were all unharmed. Was it targeted? Was it not targeted? What's the theory here?
That you thought, my God, she was going to be there.
I didn't think about that right away.
Huh.
You didn't think about that right away? That's so weird. Like, of course you would think about that right away as a mother. Like, even if you think maybe she wasn't targeted for whatever reason. But why would a serial killer who doesn't have any connection to the victims go into a home and choose those people? They're saying he had developed an obsession with one of them. So he's a first-time offender. He goes in. He has a thing for one of them. What's he going to do? Was this a sex crime? I don't think there's any indication it was a sexual assault. The other roommate's not supposed to be there. But then how do the other two fit? And why is one of them passed out, but the roommate doesn't do anything? And no one calls 911 for 8 hours. And there's no evidence so far that links him to any of those particular women.
All I could think about was the kids.
Makes you sad too, doesn't it?
It does. Sorry.
So many damaged families. Angela Nevejas told us that her daughter Ashlyn, Maddie Mogan's best friend, moved away from Idaho and now refuses to come home to visit because of the trauma associated with the murders. She's hoping some of that may change and Ashlyn will start to grieve after Brian Koberger's trial. Back to you.
Because we know he's guilty, and so he's the one, he did this stranger that no one knows, and she's going to feel better once, he receives a death penalty, and then she'll be able to go back. But right now she can't. Doesn't make any sense. He's in prison.
Greg and Savannah.
Such a heartbreaking story. Keith, thank you. And we know we'll have more on Dateline. We'll look forward to that. I want to turn now to NBC senior legal correspondent Laura Jarrett, who's here. You follow this very closely, too. And now we're starting to see some of the case that the prosecution plans to present. What do you think is the significance and how compelling will it be to a jury?
Yeah, there's no question you can't watch that and not think the prosecution has a very strong case here. But there are defenses that...
What from that clip that you just saw is evidence of Brian Koberger's guilt? The shower picture? A car that you can't see? Allegedly, he was in the neighborhood driving around? Okay. Very compelling stuff.
Koberger's team can offer. It's just a question if the jury finds them convincing. So on the white sedan, for instance, nobody sees Koberger get in and out of that car. Nobody even sees him leave the house. All you have is a surviving roommate seeing bushy eyebrows, but not actually IDing Koberger there. On the cell phone tower, they can put up an expert to say cell phone towers are not that accurate. We already know that they're going to say he liked to drive around at night, and so there's nothing that suggests that he was actually casing the joint, as that's basically the prosecution's theory there. Googling Ted Bundy, that does not look good, right? Objectively, that does not look good, but he's a criminology student, and it's not a crime to Google serial killers.
Laura Jarrett doing her best defense attorney this morning. And you know, you find in trials, you know, any particular piece of evidence can be batted down, but sometimes it's the totality of the evidence.
Of course, the biggest piece is that his DNA is found in the crime scene, and the defense is going to have to try to explain that.
According to prosecutors.
A piece of touch DNA on a knife sheath in a quadruple homicide where even the coroner says there was blood everywhere. But yet, one piece of touch DNA that they found later that there's no pictures of as far as I know when they first found it by the bedside. This was a drug house. People talk often about that, you know, the students were saying this is where people went to buy drugs. It was a party house. You can see that on the videos, the interactions with the police. They're selling large amounts of drugs there. This feels more like something bigger they're trying to cover up. So many things weird about this. The roommate's not calling for 8 hours, posting pictures, calling their parents, right? If Brian Koberger calling his parents after suspicious, what about the roommates calling their parents, not calling 911? All that blood, the smell. Doesn't make really a lot of sense to me. He Googled Ted Bundy. I mean, a lot of people have, right? Everyone who's into true crime does that, researches all of that stuff. He's a criminology professor, student, so yeah, of course. It's just sad that, people can be convicted in the media before they even go to trial. Imagine how often that happens. And I have a lot of questions about this case, and I'm going to come back and talk more about it.